What's going on, everyone? This is Dalton at Dalton95 continue with another Transformers video. Today we're taking a look at something I've been looking forward to for quite some time, and that is going to be the MPG-15 Rattle or Rattrap. So let's go ahead and get this out of here and look at his actual packaging. And it's pretty close to your standard MP style box, much like what we saw with Rhinox. Actually, I think Rhinox was still under the original packaging, if I remember. I honestly can't remember. But you got the MPG logo there. You got the T-Spark logo here at the bottom. MPG-15, Cybertron Spy, Cybertron Rattle. Got the Super Robot Lifeform, Beast Wars, Transformers logo there. And on the back, you got a read-up on his bio, read-up on his beast mode, weapons, face, accessories, adapter parts for Primal and Rattrap. And, of course, there he is with all the other Maximals and all of his accessories. So, let's go ahead and get that out of the way and focus on Rattrap himself. And he looks very close to the cartoon model. I, once again, am very impressed how close they got it. And this is probably the cleanest beast mode we've gotten. I know I've said that about Rhinox, but the only thing here on Rattrap are just these two sections sticking out from the robot mode knees. And of course you get this right here, which is a faux rat head, but it looks enough like the rat belly to not be a problem. So yeah, these are the only bits of kibble left from the robot mode, and that's incredible. So real quick, we'll go ahead and bring in his accessories. He does have this adapter piece, which I'll show with Primal here in just a moment. And there is the other for robot mode. Do have an alternate rat head with the bristled whiskers, much like what Cheetor has. Go over how to remove that here in just a minute. And of course, two faces that will show off more in robot mode. He also has his collector card. So there you got Cybertron Rattle. You got his stats all right here. And a quick read up on him. His height, I'm guessing he's 1.8 meters tall. I'm guessing that he weighs 1.3 tons. I don't know. I'm just going based off the numbers here. So there is that. So, all right. So really nice paintwork here. You got the kind of brownish here that does fade into the gray. Of course, some really nicely painted eyes there with the black and white to reflect off the pupil, and then a little bit of sclera there. Something there. You got the black for the nose. You get the little buck teeth painted on whiskers. If you open up his mouth, it is painted kind of a maroon color with, of course, the paint there for the teeth. Of course, the rat feet are painted pink with the little claws, same with the tail painted. Articulation-wise, his tail does swivel side to side. It does have 1, 2, 3, and 4 joints, so you can kind of pose it however you like within reasonable measures. Hips are on a hinge, or 2 hinges and a swivel. 2 hinges are mostly for transformation, but you can even kind of like spread them to get him like squatting down, or like doing a little thing where he's dodging the beams in a better mousetrap. Got the 2 joints here for the ankle and the knee. Got a swivel and hinge right here, double hinged, and a swivel here. The head can come disconnected, which allows him to look left and right a bit, but mostly to look down so you can get him kind of standing on his hind legs once you get the tail out of the way. And you can emote and all that with his hands. But you bring that down, that's how it's going to attach the Primal. And it's also how you slide off the upper jaw and head. There's these little tracks right here on the side that just go onto these little tabs right here. And just like that. There we have the whiskered head, which much like, or which I wish the Cheetor and Shadow Panther had this option of the sculpted in whiskers. That would have saved a lot of heartache, I guess, or issues with the MP Cheetor mold. But yeah, there we go. You got Rattrap in beast mode. Now to show them combined on, or not really combined, but attached to Primal, just bring those down like that, like we're gonna have them standing up. We'll take this little section. There's these 2 little tabs, 2 slots. We'll just tab into there. And there's this little peg that flips out on Primal that we've always been wondering what it does. And it is for attaching Rattrap in robot mode. So you can get them riding on Primal's back to recreate the first episode of Beast Wars, where he's riding on Primal's back and Primal is sitting on Rhinox as they ride back to base. So take that out. And with that, and we got them back in robot mode. So similar thing, we'll just take this piece here, plug it onto his chest, and you'll use this lower port with that little square peg that will fit right into there. And just wrap his little rat hands around, knit it up like that. And he can ride on Primal's back as Primal flies around, which is good because the hips on mine are extremely loose. Like the ratchets don't have much click to them anymore. So hopefully sometime soon we see a reissue of this Primal, especially with the better paint, because this original digital printing paint just is not holding up. So hopefully Takara re-releases him for the 30th anniversary, whether it be this year or next year. Or I say next year meaning 2027, because it is very, very close to 2026. Why does this not want to come out? Because this is actually, hopefully, things go the way we want, my last review for 2025. And I forgot his ears do wiggle. So there's that. So I guess now we get into his transformation to robot mode, which isn't crazy, but it does have some difficult moments. So start by untabbing the rat tail, bringing that back. We'll take these sections and bring them up on a double hinge while collapsing the lower legs fully to there. Thought there was another spot that they moved back, but I guess that was it. So like that. We'll split this lower section here. So that will come back like that. Same thing on this side. Take these, bring them out like that. Both sides. Go here. And actually we want the head facing down for this. I keep forgetting about that. That way we can split this out to the side. And I'll also split that section where the head was sliding over. Like that. And then we got Rattrap folded up inside. So he's pulling a Thunder Blast while still doing more than what Thunder Blast does. So bring these, or we'll go ahead and split the legs here so it can take the blaster out. Also, there we go. Bring this section back. It is on a double joint, but we don't want to fully collapse it yet. Go ahead and bring down the robot mode legs. We'll get those all straightened out here in a moment. Take these 2 little sections here, flip them down, and these sections, actually no, we don't want to do that yet. Rotate these down like that, just to get them out of the way. Bring them all the way down. Bring down the faux rat head. Bring this whole section back. But there's a way to bring it back further. But, all right, so let's go ahead and get these arms out of the way here. Bring them all the way up like that. All the way up. That will allow you actually to bring this forward and flip in this section here until it clicks in. And then we'll fold these sections in just like that. Bring these rat legs back like that. There we go. Oop. There we go. Bring this up like that. I'll go ahead and straighten these arms out of the way for now. Bring this up on that hinge. Actually, forgot I need to rotate it down, then up. There we go. There's that. And we'll take the rat head. It is on multiple joints here. So just kind of bring it down here like that. And fold it up on itself. Make sure that jaw stays closed. And then the nose will go into that little divot right there at the bottom. Just like that. Bring that up. Bring these sections up here. These will tab into the sides there. Close up the fake rat head. And that will form his upper torso. Take these sections here. Bring this up on that double hinge. And then we actually want this wrapped up underneath here like that. This will fold up underneath. Oh no, it's on a double hinge. Sorry. Bring it up like that. There we go. And the rat tail just comes up behind the rear legs. Make sure this all tabs in. So there's these little tabs here. They'll go into there. This goes in like that. So there's the upper body. Rotate the waist around. Bring the legs forward. Rotate. Bring this down. And the robot mode feet. Bring that down. There's that. Bring down the arms. They're on a double joint here, so just bring that down all the way. Rotate that section up. So unfurl, bring that down. And grab that up. Surround the arms, fold out the hand. Then these ears, we can point them up. And there we have Rattrap in his robot mode, looking very clean. The rear of the rat does hang off a little extra further than what I'd like, but it still looks really good. And back, a little back heavy. Blaster just folds up like that. And you can open up his hand like most Masterpiece figures, and it goes right into the palm with that tab. Come on. Into the palm, and then just close up the fingers. And there we have Rattrap with his blaster. And the coloring on this guy is just beautiful. There's a good amount of paint and a good amount of molded in plastic, but a majority of this kind of bronze color is painted on, except for sections here around the torso and the hands. Though the hands are a little bit closer to the darker, more copper colored section, like on these points on the shoulders, the size of the cheeks there. These sections on the thighs and shins. I believe these shin pieces are painted or molded that way. And of course, you got the silvery gray plastic for these parts, but picked out in silver are the toes, the forearms, the brain, and the gears. Of course, you got the black or gunship gray for the nose, red eyes. Some gold picked out here on the waist piece. Overall, very nicely painted and pretty good detail. Articulation-wise, his head is on a ball joint, so you get a good range of motion. You get 360 at the shoulders. You do get a bicep swivel. You do have technically just a 90-degree elbow, but with the transformation, you get 180. Bicep swivel, I think I mentioned that. Wrist swivel. They do the, I guess, Narcissa wrist. I think that's what some people call it. Where the fist points inward and then the fingers open. And he's got very strange fingers. Waist swivel, forward and a little bit back at the hips, all the way out to there. Upper thigh swivel, knee swivel. You get about 180 degrees at the knee due to the transformation joint. You get rotation at the ankle. You get full tilt. And the toes are on a joint as well as where you can point the leg forward like that. I did forget to point out paint details on his blaster. Of course, the upper torso is now coming untabbed. That is this kind of bluish gray. You do get some of that copper and bronze throughout. You got 6 of these little bugs painted on, 2 maximal symbols. So there's that. He does have his little wrist-mounted demolition charges. I can grab these tweezers and just pop that out. There it is. So I've used these a number of times in the show, whether they're as demolition charges or like a paralyzing spray aerosol that he used on Waspinator. But that was his transmetal body. But nice that it was included. The last time I think we've seen that included was the Thrilling 30 version of Rattrap. So we got that. And of course he does have light piping for those eyes. You can kind of see it going there. Do you get this kind of blank expression, more stoic. You get more of a happy or kind of saying some sort of sarcastic remark face. And I like calling this one the "we're all gonna die" face. Shocked, scared, screaming. Just insert Scott McNeil screaming "we're all gonna die." One last accessory. I'm gonna switch this back to the more generic face. Last accessory here is this adapter, which you just bring this down like that, and this will tab right into here, allowing him to use the base that came with Dinobot. So that does it for accessories. If I can get this back into place, there we go. And we'll go ahead and bring in the other Maximal cast members. Starting with the Boss Monkey. Good old Stripes. Or Spots. Here's Stripes. Get him to hold his weapon right. Got Big Green. Get Rhinox to stand. And there goes Tigatron. Come on, guys, stand up. There we go. And his best friend in the whole wide world, Chopper Face. Or Lizard Lips. But there we go. We got, the full Axelon crew right here. And got the Trader and a Stasis pod member. So We are just one maximal away from completing the team. Just need Airazor, and then we need Tarantulas, Scorponok, Pterosaur, Waspinator, and Inferno. We still got 5 more Predacons, Takara. Come on. So far behind. We are one maximal away from completing the Season 1 cast. Just give us some more and then update Primal with some better tolerances and paint. And maybe reissue Cheetor. But I think the rest should be fine. Maybe reissue Dinobot too, because some of that paint is starting to wear down really bad, especially the gold. So, wouldn't mind a reissue of at least these 3. Or at the very least, these 2. So, let's go ahead and get these guys out of the way. Alright, so to get Rattrap back into beast mode, we'll go ahead and remove his blaster. Just open up the hand and just pull that out of the tab. Come on, there we go. So close up his hands. Bring up the arms to here. Want the wrist to face down like that. And just have them, actually just have them up like this for now. Just have the fist pointed in. So there's that. Bring this whole section here down like that. Open that up. And we'll bring this tail section down on that double hinge. Leave that open. Same thing, open these sides up. Open these panels up after you untap it from the back. Just bring those out on either side. There we go. Flip these flaps up. Just get everything opened up and ready to go back to robot mode. So this, I'm gonna have to use a pair of tweezers to get it out, so give me just a moment. So just needed to pop that open, so we'll just bring that whole section up, out like that. All right, then from here, on tab, the fake, actually no, too early for that. Rotate the waist around, then undo the fake rat head. Bring that down to there. And then we'll take the robot mode legs, fold them up like this, rotate the foot around. You want the toes pointing up. Same thing on this side, toes pointing up. Just keep that all on, just to bring that, get it out of the way, just bring those down a little bit. Bring this section down to here, down to there. Bring this whole section back, untab the rat head from here, and extend that all out on those hinges. All right, now we can fold up the robot mode arms like this. Rotate this section all the way back to pretty much right against the elbow joint. Bring this whole assembly down once you get it past there, past there. Okay, so I forgot, you do want these bars on the shoulders facing up. That will allow this whole thing to just come down. So rotate the bicep, fold it up, bring that down, get this out of the way. And then these two sections will just kind of rest together with the fists touching like that. Bring the rat head up. There we go. And rotate these sections up here. You want that little tab facing down like that. So rotate this section up. You want just down like that. Bring the legs, this whole section back. Okay. You just want these sitting here, just like that. And then you want this slot here, bend the gun in half like that. You want the barrel to go into that slot there. So these little tabs will go into the slots on the inside of the thighs Just like that. Will, there we go. Bring this whole thing down on those double hinges. There we go. And this will fit in like that. That will fit in there. Bring the rope with the rat head up like that. There we go. On that joint there, these will come together, forming the upper portion of the rat. And these will come down, forming the rat's abdomen section. I'll tab into there. Just straighten out the tail, bring this down on these double hinges, extend the legs a little bit. There it is, that, and there we have Rattrap back in rat mode. So yeah, starting to get this the hang of this transformation once again. I did it a couple times before and then just completely forgot how to do it before recording this. I know usually I watch instructional videos instead of looking at the actual instructions. Those tend to help me out better than the instructions do. I'll just say that right now. So there is Rattrap in vehicle mode. So let's get into final thoughts. Not vehicle mode, rat mode, whatever. Let's get into final thoughts. So when it comes to my final thoughts on the MPG-15 Rattrap, I really enjoy this figure, especially in robot mode. Rat mode, it's okay. Like most of the times with these Beast Wars Masterpiece or recent updates, the beast modes are just kind of statues. Like, yes, he does have some posability, but it's still limited in terms of, you know, full posability. But the robot mode, transformation, I think they're both solid. Transformation is just a little bit to get used to. I don't know, I think I mentioned it, but it's been a while since I did do the transformation on this up until this point. So still not 100% familiar step by step to where I can do it super smoothly. So I do apologize for that, but you know, I enjoy it. So for my final figure review of 2025, this has been MPG-15 Rattrap. Hope you guys enjoyed this a little lengthy video, but I mean, it is a masterpiece, so you can kind of get away with that. That's how a lot of these videos have been, ending this year. And there's one more video coming out for the beginning of 2026. It's also going to be like 20-30 minutes long, and then a subsequent video following that. So stay tuned for those, and stay tuned for Axelon news coming this next Saturday. We'll be doing some of the recent stuff, as well as our part 2 of the Eric Sabinaler tier list of designs. Might do a third part, as well as a culmination of all of his best designs as commemoration and celebration for him joining the Hasbro design team for Transformers once again. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out those links down below as well. Check out my playlist for Studio Series and Age of the Primes. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. So long. Take care.